Hello, sight readers. I'm so glad to see you here for your fourth sight reading lesson. So we're pretty much just going to continue reading music bit by bit, tiny little pieces, until you kind of get the hang of things and you can start to practice these completely on your own. Go ahead and look at our time signature, right? 3/4. So how are we counting? We're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And looking at our first note here, we actually don't have middle C. So this is new here. Do you remember which note this one is? You can look back on what we've done so far. And if you remember from our last piece, rhythmic changes, we did see the note E. So this, on the first line of the treble staff, that is going to be E. And if you remember back on the screen, E is played with your third finger. So again, this is just a right-handed piece. Your left hand is resting. Thumb is still on middle C. And you're starting on E. So that's where your third finger would go, on E. So the next note, starting to recognize patterns and noticing how to tell what the next note is. So we have E here. The note next to it is just one step below. So you're going from E to D. It's just one step below. And then this note, it's pretty much your anchor note is what I like to call middle C. It's how you start reading music, as you've seen by now, and all the other notes can be found just by knowing one note, and that one note would be middle C. So you have E, D, C. You're coming down now. So far we've only been going up. You're coming down, and then just notice the pattern. If you were to connect the dots with the note heads here, look at which direction it's going. It's going down, and then here it goes back up, up, and it goes up again. So always notice the pattern. So if you're starting on E, look at the next note. Is it above or below E? And you see it's below. So then going back to this note, which we have D, let's see what the next note is. E, first line. Okay, it's just one step above. And we have a new note here. So E, and it goes one step above. Take a wild guess for what that note would be. It's F. It's the note right after E that would be played with your fourth finger. And then F is repeated here. And then look again, coming down. F down to E, E down to C, E down to D, and then D down to C. So really slowly, you wanna take your time and study the piece. So remember, first things first, learn how you're counting. And you can tell by looking at the top number of your time signature, that 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Looking at the note values, they're pretty much all quarter notes except the last one. That's going to be, they're all one beat. Okay, so let's go ahead and clap through this nice and slow and counting. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and hold. So now let's go ahead and get ready to play this piece. Okay, so thumbs go on middle C, and every finger gets its own key following C. And we're going to go a lot slower than how we were clapping, because clapping is easier than adding the notes. So you want to slow it down and go ahead and count and play very slowly. Remember, you're starting on E this time. Okay, thumb is still on C, that's your guide, but you're starting on E if you notice, looking at our sheet music here. So let's go for it. Do your best. If you mess up, here is the key. If you mess up, try to keep going. Okay, if you try to correct it, I'm already going to be on the next note. So if you mess up, just leave it, play the next note whenever you can. Okay, this is very, very important. So starting on E, counting nice and slow, way slower than we were clapping. Ready? Here we go. 1, going down. 2, going down again. 3, up to D. 1, stepping up to E. 2, to F. 3, staying on F. 1, down to E. 2, down to D. 3, ending on C and C again. 2, holding. 3. Great. So let's try it one more time. It's going to go like this. Ready? And on E. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'm going to play this one for you without counting and without pointing. So if you'd like, go ahead and join me. If you don't think you're ready, pause the video, rewind, get it just right. So this is what it sounds like without counting or anything, just the piece by itself. Here we go. Okay, so hopefully you're getting excited by this point because you're starting to actually hear some music and you're the one making it because you're reading the sheets. So I'm going to conclude this lesson and we are going to be jumping into how to read music on the left hand in our next lesson. So hope to see you in the next